Hello, so in this video I'm going to explain how the WordPress editor works. So the WordPress editor is on many different areas of WordPress. So we can look at, say, posts or pages. They're the two that are built in by default, but you could have, like this one has got, this theme has got services and FAQs, portfolios. You can get all sorts of stuff here, but I'm just going to look at a post editor, which should be what you do. Well, the editor is the same no matter what, but I'm just going to look at the editor in the posts. Should be more or less the exact same if we looked at it in the pages. So I'll just click add new. So it'll be add new post, add new page, add new whatever. And general lie of the land, you've got the title up here, you've got the publishing section over here. This is a blog post, so I've got blog format, categories, tags, featured image, some other things. All these are gonna depend upon what plugins, themes you've got, how your blog is set up, how your website is set up. But this here is the editor. And that's really the main thing that you're going to use to do everything as regards, in this case, a post, or if you were doing a page. So it's basically the same for everything, except sometimes you'll get plugins. For instance, I have a plugin on this, so what I'll actually do is I'll do a duplicate tab and just go back with this one. So this is my standard editor, and if I was to, these are my plugins. So this one here, this is deactivated. If I activated that, it gives me an advanced, I'm going to duplicate this again so you can see. So this here is the advanced version. It's got this is what that plugin added. So this is the standard, and this extra bar up here appears because of that plugin. I'll just turn that plugin off. But there's lots of different plugins and possibilities for things up here that are not part of the vanilla WordPress. So just refresh this to make sure I've got it back to normal. So also this button here is interesting. Old versions of WordPress, this was called hide, show, the kitchen sink of all things, but it's toggle the bottom toolbar, and I'd advise you to leave it on because a lot of the stuff you won't use, but this one over here is really important. Maybe I'll just tackle that one first. So if I'll just go get some lorem ipsum text. Hold on. So lorem ipsum is just some random words. It's got a long history to it, being used in printing. So let's paste in some text. Now, if that was one paragraph and this is another, and you can see that by, if I click here, it tells me this is a P. If I click here, it's a P, it stays on P. It's the same thing up here, it stays on paragraph if I click this. But if I wanted to have a heading in here, so this is my heading, a lot of people will select that and press B for bold, and they think that that's going to work. And it does work, but it really isn't the best for a whole load of reasons that I won't get into, but mainly to do with SEO and the way the theme works and future-proofing, lots of stuff. So don't do that. Just undo that. The right thing to do is to, now you don't actually have to select it, you just click on it, select it if you want, and you pick which heading you want. So let's say I picked heading 1, and then for instance do wanted another paragraph, and I wanted a subheading in here, so picked heading 2 for that, and so on. So you can use these however you want. Actually, there's probably a bit of other study you could do about how you would use those for SEO purposes, for accessibility, for lots of things, but I'm not going to get into that here. But basically, the bottom line is you want to use headings instead of bold text. The other thing to be aware of is that I can't write, so if I wanted to do something like this, this is by the way, something like that. So I want to say a little by the way thing in here pertaining to this heading. If I change this, it changes the whole thing, so you can't do that. And that's an undo button, by the way. So this doesn't work that way. It's to do with the way the web works. At the end of the day, I'm just going to get rid of that. At the end of the day, the heading, it looks like it ends there, but it doesn't. It actually ends over here. So everything on that line is now a heading, and that's how headings work. It's probably just a bad idea to do something like by the way out here. There's ways around it, but it's probably not a good idea. By the way, no pun intended, this is a representation of what it's going to look like on the front of the site. It's not what it's going to look like. What it's going to look like is dependent upon your theme, and I'm not even going to get into that here, but this is black and it's big. It could be absolutely anything. If your theme's built properly and your website's built properly, then you'll have a proper structure. So you could see what that structure was by doing something like, this. There's a paragraph, and you could do heading 1, copy that, paste 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, and then assigning these and publishing it. I'm not going to do a whole lot of them for time, but you can publish the whole lot of it and publish the page and have a look at what it looked like. You've also got lots of other things, so I'll go through those now as well. So most of it's obvious. Oh, actually, on that front too, your heading size, font size, all the font sizes, you might notice there's no font size up here. You could probably get a plugin to put a font size up here if you wanted it, but it's not really the right way to do it. You shouldn't need to adjust your font size. If you tended to make, I want some text here, this text is bigger, it's basically going to mess up your typography. It's just not going to look right. So it's not provided for here. This is really meant to be like writing a book, and you've got text here and headings. You've got text and headings and a few other things that will help you out, but basically the typography is kind of set, and that's set by the theme. So there are other ways of getting around it if you want to, but it's not really good practice for keeping your design consistent, which is very important for just about everything, especially making sure that people read your posts, your pages, and the whole thing looks professional if it's a business or something like that. So on that note as well, you've got some people want to do colored text. Sorry, that's not spelled properly, but whatever. You can do colored text with this, so you can color your text. It's provided for, but it's not a good idea to do that, because you'll just end up with a rainbow of colors all over the place. These should have been colored. They won't show up as color here, like I said. It's representative, So you'd set them all up and see what colors the theme designer or your web designer had built into the, to all these elements, the heading elements and the paragraph elements. Oh, speaking of which, when you click here, it shows you H2 down here. So you're better off to let the theme, the same as the font sizes, let the theme dictate that. Much better. But you can change the text color there if you want. So other things that are in here are the obvious. So we've got bolds. So if I want to do some bold, it's just straightforward. I can do bold. If I want to do some italic, I can do italic. You can do bold, italic by pressing the two of them. That one's bold, italic. We can do list items. So just fairly much similar to Microsoft Word. Are numbered. They're not, last time I checked, that clever. They figured it out. I think that wasn't so good before. But you will get limited mileage out of this with your theme. I'm not sure that you'd want to check those before you publish them. It'll depend on your theme. You've got a thing called a block quote, which okay, before I do block quote, I'll just show you the indent. So this here, if I do that, you can do indents here and back. They just are what you'd expect them to be. But if I do the block quote, it looks the same as an indent, but you can tell by looking down here that it's a block quote. Block quote will just show you. I'll publish this, and it's literally for quoting people, or people, things. So in this theme, that's what the block quote looks like, but it'll look different for every theme. So there's what those headings look like in this particular theme. Let's see, we've got align left, center, and right. You can use align center if you want. Align left it's already aligned left, so it doesn't really do anything. Align right, it can give you problems with media. I've got a different video on images, so I'm not going to get into the images here, but that might you'll get various mileage out of that one too. Or links, if I just select some text, press link, you can type a URL here, or I can open up and get a link to internal content. I can do a horizontal line if I want. A lot of these underline is the same as those, and this is undo. You can also clear formatting with this guy here. Special characters, and that's basically all those. But this guy over here is very important. So we've got the text editor. So we're in the visual editor. That's where, if you're watching this video, you'll probably want to be in the visual editor all the time. But you've also got a text editor. If you know any HTML, this is the code behind that. Sometimes the text editor is handy. One reason that I find it handy for is you can just go up to the start and put something in. Sometimes things get stuck, like images get stuck up here, and you can't get your mouse in up there. You used to have to put your shortcodes. There's a thing called shortcodes of WordPress. You used to have to put those in the text editor. As far as I know, you can put them in the visual editor now. And that is really all that there is to the editor. And it's in, like I said, it's in, if I went to pages, for instance, did add new page, leave that. This is a page, not a post, exact same thing. So that's the editor.